Which means, as I said, get your ass in gear and do something. We started this initiative as artists, as musicians, in 1929. And our main thing that we gathered was that we were very upset in 29, in 92, that two places were really attacked by people in Mölln and Hoyerswerda, where they really burned the places where they lived, and it was like 1933. And we were very upset and said we must place a sign against this right-winged violence. That was in 92. Then we started as a definition of Cologne musicians. That means it's not the music itself, but it's language. So we were all musicians that did the lyrics in Cologne language. So this brought us together, and this brought also the people together, the audience. That what the colleague from the immigration office said before, that Cologne people like to identify themselves strongly with the city. That is true, but it is also they identify maybe with the language, with what they are talking, because Cologne language is a language that you learn on the street by person to person. It's not really educatable. So when we tried to gather these people there, and we were at that time very popular Cologne musicians, partly bands that reflected very strongly the things that went on in the city, like BAP, also bands who were really did the Heinz for Cologne living, like the Blackfoot, and they were really in the middle of the living, of the Cologne living, like, and we until today managed to reunite us with bands like Brings or Casala, also younger rebels, young Cologne music rebels that sing Cologne, unterstützen uns. Supporting us. Thank you. So we went on stage, and we were a little bit unsure whether more than some hundred people would show up and join us, supported us there. But when we went on the ceiling of the Torburg, we looked down, and there were some, let's say, 100,000 people there. And so this was very supported by Cologne artist family, like the famous Milovic, and also supported by intellectuals, also supported by anybody who wanted to engage himself against right-wing violence. That was a sign who somehow set a point in this common identity and common reflection. This picture of how to identify with Cologne. What is this identification? What makes it? What says it? And I think that now, 23 years later, we have much more problems. We have much more houses burning in Germany. We didn't solve really. Music does not solve these problems. But during these 23 years, we always, from time to time, we managed to mobilize many people. It goes through all this Cologne society, not only a rock audience or younger people, but everybody. Everybody joins us against protests against Pegida or this right-winged and we did a lot of things also, not only by protesting, but we also went into the school. We also made discussions in school with younger people, and now we have to face that the whole thing is going in very different directions, and we are planning a big public campaign, which is a combination of video clips and film clips that will be shown before the big movie in the cinemas. So we are still looking for people that are supporting us financially there, because it costs a lot of money. And also we want to do a print campaign. We want to, because in the next 2 years there are a lot of elections, important elections. And we did this before, when we said to Cologne people, go and vote. Take part of your possibilities, of your chances to decide a little bit. And this is also the message that we want to send. Do something, go there and say, here I am, this is not right. Be on the side of the good ones. And yeah, that's what we want to spread in the future, which will take 1.5 years. The plan is over 1.5 years. Different activities, art performances, musical performances, intellectual things, just to make a big campaign that is trying to help that for the living, tolerant living and democratic living. So I'm a little bit upset because
so we thought similar to Mr. Keltek, we have a few questions, then we open it up to the
we're still planning and
yeah.
still finding partners, and we also have found in the past many partners who support us. It's not possible in a city to do these things all by artists, but you also need the city that supports you, the government, you need the police that organize, because after this festival, this love parade festival in Duisburg, everybody looks how safe are these venues, how fast go people away from the street. So has become something completely different. And without help. Without help, it's not possible to do so. It's not only the musicians, it's not the artist, it is the combination of acceptance by people, by maybe these, this Cologne tolerant, most tolerant city thing. This is all. Cologne is also in the tradition, not only in the Höhner tradition, they say Cologne is a feeling. But Cologne is also in the tradition of Stockhausen, of Kagel, of John Cage, also in the tradition of the modern electronic music, Cologne music it's called, and it's also in the tradition of bands like Can, who are from Cologne, or bands like Kraftwerk, which come from 50 kilometers away. Try to get this power all together, then we can do something.
And that was one of our first questions. How does music mobilize the spirit of Köln? Like Köln seems to have a strong identity linked to music. If you could talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, as I said, in this group that gathered together in 1992, there were bands like Blackfoot who belonged really to this identification potential, because they wrote songs like Drink doch eine mit oder Fedel, which are the songs, and they still write songs like what is the, wie heißt der Song? So that means you have these people and you bring the message from down the stage to 100,000 people. Not only with this Blackfist thing or this LSE thing or BAP thing, from different point of views of Cologne feeling, reflected, critical, romantic, whatever you. There's a dubious little thing that everybody feels, even me.
And music helps you, like makes it expressible in a way, makes it tangible.
Yeah, because the music itself that we perform as Cologne singer is nothing new. It's mostly an adaptation of English pop music. Like the Blackfist, with all respect, but they got their first thing going by adapting Beatles songs and performing the songs with naked feet inside these expensive official venues and performances in the carnival. It was a scandal that 3 young guys walk up with bare feet and singing Beatles songs in Cologne language. That was the trick.
And just for the British audience, I mean, I guess you gathered it. There's German, Hochdeutsch, the proper BBC German, or CDF German, and then there's a dialect which is like, I find it as a non-cultural, like, I find it difficult to understand. Like, it's very different to the High German.
Yes, and I'm happy that I don't need to talk in Cologne language, otherwise the translation process would take longer.
Yes, definitely. So one more really interesting question we had, well, we think it's interesting, but what can music do that noise or silence can't do? Can you maybe think, like what can music do that noise or silence can't do?
Yes, we can re-stimulate pictures that people have gathered, like a collective memory. We can stimulate. We try to touch this point. This has nothing to do with sound or quiet I mean, it's hard to describe because it has something to do with the not taking place of monarchy in Cologne. So that the Cologne people, they really love to. Like you as Britons, you know the royals, and we don't have royals. The royals that we have are normal human beings that are lifted a little bit more up with love. I'm talking bullshit maybe, but you know, a guy like Tommy Engel, he is hated but he is loved. If he walks on stage, you hear a needle fall. And that's what Cologne people like. They want to have the carnivals prince. They love to sing songs. They love to dance. In Cologne you can dance in sitting. You don't need to stand up or move much. So everything is made very comfortably and very easy. Maybe that's easy. In Cologne it's a little bit more easy. It's not really more tolerant and it's more easy. It's like we have had 150 years of French occupation, which made it easier, and we say from our own side, we say we are the most northern city of Italy.